All right. All right. Today is Thursday, September 26th. By the time you're seeing this, it may be the 27th or even into October, November. So I'll really try to make these videos and information as applicable and have as much shelf life as possible as far as the information, data, all of this. At the same time, our goal in these broadcasts and videos is to um, stay current and in fact have at least a few videos or streams throughout the week, if not even here soon once a day. So anyways, we're going to get right into it. Again, I'm Chance with We Sell Broken Bow Real Broker LLC, and we appreciate your attention, appreciate your trust, and we're going to get right into it. So again, entering into the last quarter of 2024, I would say at this point the market is really stabilizing. What does that mean? So the past year and a half, of course, folks have noticed that cabins are taking a little bit longer to sell, and a lot of folks are kind of wondering and seeing price reductions, prices coming down a little bit. It's all really relative also as far as prices coming down to what someone asks for a property. What someone asks for a property and their list price coming down doesn't always necessarily mean that the market's going down, right? So you have to take that with a grain of salt. I'm going to hope to share some of that information, like how, again, I'm looking at the market, how I'm helping buyers and sellers navigate in the market and view the market so ultimately they can make the best decision. So again, appreciate your attention, appreciate your time here. My goal is to make this as efficient and insightful at the same time for y'all. If y'all have any remote interest in the real estate market in general up here in Broken Bow and now Hochatown, McCurtain County is where we are, southeast Oklahoma. Of course, just a stone's throw from North Texas, where I'm from, where a lot of these buyers and sellers and investors, developers, etc., are from. And so, yeah, more on that to come. I'm going to have a screen share here in just a moment. And Franny, I'm assuming my audio is good and been good the past few minutes. Present.
Yes.
Very good, thank you. Let's see here. Share screen. Window. Screen. All right. Very good. So back to Realtor.com, my favorite third-party consumer site. If I was in the market and not necessarily a realtor, I'd probably prefer Realtor.com just for ease of browsing. I said that in a video before. So where we left off in the last video was actually browsing and kind of beginning to feel the market, get to observe the market from the highest price points that folks are advertising property, which of course was a lot of large acreage, potential development property, et cetera, et cetera. I understand that not most folks are really looking for that, but again, just to, again, kind of test our tools, test our platform, if you will, for streaming and these videos, and kind of for fun, sharing with y'all what's on the market of the entire gamut from big to small to all over the place. Again, concerning Broken Bow and the vacation rental market up here in Broken Bow. So again, I have my screen share here, and so we'll begin again at the highest price points, which I guess this screen remembered from yesterday, which is nice. I'm going to go back again to the beginning to get to the highest price point properties and kind of begin there. Let's see. Hopefully our internet's cooperating with us. Dun, dun, dun. Fernie, can you please turn on a little bit of background music, Miss DJ?
All right.
All right, we have 8.1 million again for the 180. We saw these development properties yesterday. The 72 Red Flower Trail. I had clicked into 561 Woodland Bluff. Really cool property. This 42 Sweet Magnolia. Really cool property. The most dynamite views in town, no doubt. And Brandy, if you'd otherwise mute yourself, please. I hear just a little bit of background. Let's see, 44 Alder Place. These are some other unparalleled views in the market, absolutely. Again, of this size and in this price point in Broken Bow, there's probably, at least a few dozen cabins at any given time on the market or through the grapevine, as they call a hip pocket listing or things of those sorts. And so ultimately, yeah, there's not a ton of properties with a view like this. The majority of your views from this cabin are actually going to be looking south. So this is the front of the cabin on this Alder Place, which is in Carter Mountain West. I love this subdivision. They've done a great job developing this place. They began with a really attractive piece of property, being about there right where the mountains kind of begin, technically. Some folks, I think, that aren't up here all the time, and maybe especially as they've, let's say recently traveled 2.5, 3 hours to come up here, every 5-10 minutes kind of is a perceived additional distance that maybe they don't want to go. So they wonder if, some of these subdivisions on the northern side, like Carter Mountain, are maybe a little bit too far out. I really don't think so. I really don't think so at all, because from Carter Mountain West, you're probably no more than 5 to 7 minutes from Mountain Fork Brewery, the Shuck Me, the ice cream shop, the different shops, and then just another stone's throw, like a quarter mile south of that. So 5, 6, 7 minutes, you're there at everything. Very near Carson Creek and Stevens Gap, and the 259A loop, essentially around the state park. I mean, you're 15 minutes away from virtually everything. So this is really not too far out for the views that are offered here, and just the feel of driving around the neighborhood, the subdivision, so to speak, is just very nice, very nice. There's other really cool subdivisions that I really like that I'll share more information, more context on here before long. So again, this one on Alder Place is actually like this ridge line that is a cul-de-sac on both sides. So you come to it from the middle of Alder Place, and then you have the choice of going left or right along this ridge line. And this cabin's on the western side of that road ridge line, if you will. So really cool property. Again, you also don't see a lot of 3 stories like this. And so at the time of recording this video, so to speak, Thursday, September 26th, this property is still on the market, and $357 a foot, I think is a fair value. I think their sentiment, the owners and sellers on this property, is that they're pretty firm at this time. I don't think you've seen a price reduction or adjustment on it for as long this 200 days it's been on the market. There's got to be some negotiability. Come on, got to be just a little bit. And so if you have any interest in this property or any questions, feel free to reach out. 5-bed, 5.5 bath, 87 square foot on just a little over an acre. A lot of folks ask or wonder what the typical lot size is. The property that the cabin's on, I would say an acre and a quarter is about the average. Let's see here. So see, there's no shortage of cabins on the market from $1.5 million to $1 million. My honest thoughts at this time, again, market's always moving, market's always changing. My thoughts at this very moment is that a well-rounded, decently built cabin that is not the newest, not the most trendiest, not the best location, but not a bad location, a fair market value for a cabin like that's in the mid 300s a foot. And again, as you go from 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 square foot, you're probably going to see the price per square foot come down just, again, marginally. Although ultimately, a cabin built in the past few years, I think if you can find one that's 2,000 square foot to 4,000 square foot in the mid 300s, I think that's a fair market value. That's puts you in a pretty good position and a likelihood for decent appreciation, if you will. So for example, this one's pending gives you, I believe that looking at the pendings gives you a better active understanding of what's trading, what the more real current values are really panning out to be at this very moment. So a 6-bed, 6.5 bath, 3,800 square foot for $1,425. That price per square foot they were asking was $375, right? So backs up to this pond. That of course makes it more attractive, more desirable, particularly one that you can put some little kayaks on, things like that. Really cool little pond, probably like an acre pond. So not the most updated, not the most trendy, right? Although still super luxurious, comfortable, clean. I say luxurious in size and quality of materials. I mean, it's not groundbreaking for maybe a lot of folks' standards, although you know, when I say folk standards, being the buyers and the owners of these cabins compared to the house that they're currently living in. Actually, I find that, interestingly enough, while a cabin up here for most folks that are buying, this is not their second property for the most part that they currently own. This is typically more of a third, fourth, fifth property, which I like to see because someone with immediate expectations that this is your first asset to begin providing you that return, a foundational asset for your portfolio, so to speak. It's a little more of a volatile asset class, this short-term rental, Airbnb as an asset class. So anyways, more on that later. I can share some information and thoughts, perspective there. So just that to say, this 44 Lost Persimmon, cool looking property, good location, was on the market 100 days, built in 2020, so 4 going on 5 years old. I think this was a fair price, and that's indicative, as in it has got a contract on it, probably going to sell and close here shortly. So cool property. It's after 1 now, Franny, so again, if you need to go, I understand, and I appreciate you. My assumption is that if the audio's been all right so far, we're good. Appreciate you very much.
Yeah, it sounds good. So, thank you.
Thank you. See you soon. Take care. All right, this 163 Wild Turkey has a nice drive up, nice appeal with the porte-cochere and nice little lawn, that's for sure. So again, kind of want to be efficient here in beginning this video series with kind of just browsing through the upper ends of the market, which again, right now, I'd say the meat of the upper end of the market is really between $1 million, $1.6 million, $1.7 million. There's really not a ton over $1.6 million, $1.7 million. I'd say about half of anything. Oh, I'm going to rile some people up here. I think half of anything over 1.5 is maybe a little overpriced. And if it's not, hey, it probably has a spectacular view, something really unique about it, a really favorable location, or frankly, some really good rental history. A lot of folks are looking for a cabin with proven rental history, booking trends, et cetera, et cetera. Personally, that I do understand. At the same time, there's so many cabins that are new and built within the past year or two. If you have confidence and you really know what you're looking for, what you believe a guest is going to favor, these folks coming up, these customers, if you will, your short-term rental guests, if you know how to constitute a really good deal versus something that's a little overpriced, or you kind of know what the guests are looking for and how to really kind of analyze the booking trends, guest preferences, et cetera, et cetera. What I'm saying is it's all right to take a chance on what's been built within the past year or so that's maybe not got rental history. So anyways, we see some cabins here around $1 million for 4 or 5 bedrooms. Frankly, I think that's gonna be a typical price if you're adamant about four beds, 4 full baths. That could advertise as accommodating. Of course, 2 per bedroom. Sometimes they take the 4th or 5th bedroom and do a bunk room where you can sleep another 4, 5, 6. You might advertise sleeping a couple in the game room or loft, as well as the downstairs living area if you have a sleeper couch set up down there, 1 or 2. So ultimately, some of these 4 bedrooms and 5 bedrooms range from accommodating anywhere from 14 to 22 or so. So anyways, I think I don't want to oversimplify. At the same time, I would say a rule of thumb is that if, again, the cabin is a good location, a well-built cabin, something that folks are going to enjoy, something favorable about it, you're probably able to ask about $100 a night per couple that you can sleep. $100 a night per couple that you can sleep, I believe, is a fair ballpark for what you could achieve. And of course, understand that the 1 beds and the 2 beds at this time and for quite some time, the 1 bedroom and the 2 bedroom cabins have a higher occupancy rate than the 3 bedrooms, 4 bedrooms, 5 bedrooms. And of course, the reason for that is that there's really just more people coming up here in the smaller head counts, smaller numbers, being head counts of 2, 3, 4, right? So you can accommodate easily 2, 3, 4 people in a 1 or 2 bedroom. 1 bedroom if it has a loft, 2 bedrooms especially if it has a loft, etc. So there's definitely a lot of groups coming up here. Family reunion. Set it up soon for the next one, or I'll continue for just a few more minutes because I see my internet seems all right. So listing status. Let's see if we can actually choose pending here. Let's go with new construction. See how many cabins are currently being advertised as new construction. So see 139 above 500,000. So that's a good quarter of the market, if you will. So new construction starting, or forgive me, not starting at the high end, 2.2 million. That's what I'll say. Starting at 2.2 million in Broken Bow. Oh, no. Forgive me. We're going down. We're going down in price. So really the market begins about 500,000 for new construction. For a one bed, one bath, 900 square foot, 500,000 for new construction. Triton. So that's Pine Hill North Phase 3. So let's be real. If they bought the lot, I mean, this is what a lot of folks are doing in their head as it is. If they bought the lot for 100, 110, 120 after clearing, especially, right? You're probably going to pay $4,000, $5,000, $6,000 to clear it, build a pad, level off the dirt, et cetera, to begin breaking ground. Maybe a few $1,000s in utility setup fees with the water, et cetera, $3,000 to $5,000 for a road and a labor, material and labor, bring in a little road and maybe some more material for the lot. Okay, we're in at 130, 135 probably. So 1,000 square foot cabin, I mean, foundation, for example, most folks are probably charging $10 a square foot to $15 a square foot for a foundation. Most of these cabins are not slab. Really, when I just said that, I was really kind of referring to slab foundation. That's what I'm aware of, is what I believe is kind of going price. 10 more on the aggressive side, if not a lot of labor is put into setting up the forms and the ground, et cetera. So all in all, hey, let's say the foundation on that's a $10,000 foundation. Framing on that's probably a $10,000-$15,000 package, probably charging $5 to $10 to the labor for throwing up the sticks. Let's see, I should have been more prepared with a pen. Oh, got a pen because I am prepared. So again, we said 130 in it at the lot, 5 to 10 on utilities. Let's say 10 on the foundation. Again, we said, let's say 5, 10 on the road on the way in. Let's call it 15 for material, lumber. Let's call it 15 for labor on the lumber. Throwing sticks up. Let's say, $5,000 for insulation. Let's say, this is just super ballpark, 5,000 material and labor for exterior siding. Someone feel free to challenge me if they think that 5,000 should have been taken into account with the initial 15 and 15 on the labor and material for the lumber, right? But anyways, 5,000 for exterior siding, I believe. 5,000 at least for material, and I think you'd be lucky to wrap that into material and labor for interior walls and stuff like that, right? Whether you choose, most folks on these cabins aren't going with drywall, sheetrock, tongue and groove, tape and bed, plaster, texture, paint. I mean, that's really a process that I think a lot of people don't necessarily account for and estimate for. All of this stuff really adds up. So again, I'm kind of really just doing a quick, rough and dirty ball to how these construction costs add up, and you determine for yourself if it makes sense to just pay someone for a turnkey, ready to go cabin. I mean, holy moly, we've not even got done with the construction, and then you account for the furniture, decor, appliances, everything down to the utensils and linens and draperies and napkins and toilet paper and all of this. I mean, there's a lot of expense that goes into this, and a lot of folks scratch their head and I think kind of wonder how folks have arrived at this $300, $500, $600, $700 a square foot range. Well, anyways, we'll kind of break it down and share more with you on this here over the course of time. So again, this example that I'm kind of just running through right now is really 1,000 square foot cabin, a small 1 or 2 bedroom, 1 bath cabin. So 130 for the lot, 5 to 10,000 for utilities, 10,000 for foundation, 5 to 10,000 for road on the way in, 15,000 for lumber materials, 15,000 for lumber labor, 5,000 for insulation, 5,000 for material exterior siding, 5,000 for material and labor, maybe hopefully interior. So I mean, we're probably, let's see here, what's next? Electric, oh, easily 10, right? 10,000. Plumbing, materials and labor, easy 10. And that's really just rough in, meaning the initial materials to get from the water supply to the cabin, right, and get a rough in. That's not including, of course, materials and labor for things like toilet and you know, faucets and sinks and countertops and cabinets and all of this. So anyways, I think about 10,000 per electric and plumbing, just rough in, is probably just a ballpark estimate for a cabin like this, a 1,000 square foot cabin. So anyways, let's see what's next after insulation, siding, interior, electric, plumbing, AC. You could easily spend 10. Roofing, easily spend 10. Let's see. I'm going to say bathroom, as far as vanity, toilet, shower, etc. I'm going to say 7,500. Kitchen, another 7,500. And oh geez, some folks could spend that on cabinets, right? I don't think that high-end cabinets and a lot of cabinets are really necessary on the small cabins. Maybe on the larger cabins, like three beds and up. Like I think the super high dollar, super large cabins, guests and buyers are really looking for a lot of cabinets. I think on a smaller cabin, you can kind of get away with not so much cabinets and even do an open shelving, open cabinetry. So anyways, let's add this up so far, and in the meanwhile I'll think about what I'm missing here. So we have 130 plus 10 plus 10 plus 30 plus 10 plus 10 plus 10 plus 30 plus 5 plus 5 plus 5 plus another 40 plus 15. All right, we're at 260. 260. Wow. So haven't even accounted for flooring. Could easily spend $5 a square foot, materials and labor. So 5,000, 10,000 if you got carried away. If you didn't want to do anything to it, you could stain the concrete. I think most folks in that line of work would probably charge you 2, 3, 4,000. So again, that's $2, $3, $4 a square foot. All this stuff adds up. So again, let's say we're at 270, right? I probably forgot about another, water heater, right? Certainly appliances. That's kind of in my mind more with decor, furniture, etc., etc. Not even completed the build yet, right? Deck. So let's say that 260, 270 quickly turns into 300. Well, most folks contracting, or even a buyer, a consumer, a customer that's had their homes built, not necessarily a custom build, but anyone that's tracked the process of building and doing a project like this, whether it's a house or even a car, etc., a project like this that's many steps, many trades, it's really almost impossible to completely forecast and have everything priced out. I mean, the prices of some of these materials are going to vary marginally from month to month as it is. So anyways, we're at 300. You say, hey, another 10% on that, so another 30. You're at 330 before appliances, furniture, decor, knickknacks, little photos and cute things. Again, that if you're building a cabin, I don't care whether you're building a cabin to resell or rent on the short-term rental market. Really, you've got to account for furniture, appliances, decor, etc., etc. Well, you could easily spend, $5,000 to $10,000 on a hot tub for starters. Everything down to the cornhole and the horseshoe pit and the outdoors fire pit, etc., etc. I didn't account here yet for a chimney and fireplaces. That was another thing. Custom features some folks do, like these barn doors and all of this sort of stuff, right? Oh, didn't account for window doors, right? $360, $370, $380, $390, right? I think that, yes, 1,000 square foot cabin project like this, if you choose to buy a lot and go through this process, all in all, you're gonna, on a smaller 1,000 square foot cabin like this, I mean, just show me how you think you can do it for less than 400,000, right? $400 a square foot. So if you can find one on the market for 420, 450, 470, 480, you could probably justify buying one now, getting to enjoy it now, getting to put it on the rental market now, claim that appreciation now, and also not have the interest on the project. There's certainly interest that I'm not aware of any loan product that would allow you to build without having interest on it. During that process. Surely they're out there. I've just not seen those. So ultimately, $400 a square foot is, I think, what your cost would be if you chose to build a cabin from the ground up, 1,000 square foot cabin here in Broken Bow in Hochatown. Of course, accounting for a lot, furniture, decor, etc., etc. So, now I think that if you were to choose to build a 2,000 square foot, 3,000 square foot, you could have that price per square foot come down probably 15 to 30, 35%, right? There's like a lot of variables. That's a big swing. Me saying 15 to 35%. So ultimately, again, just kind of wanted to begin opening up this this portal, so to speak, to show you Broken Bow real estate market. So appreciate you tuning in. Appreciate you watching so far. It's been a 30-minute recording. This time is flown by, so I'll keep this up as best as I can, and I look forward to seeing you on the next one. Thank you.